Hi, what's going on guys? It's Almond. Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. In today's video, it's going to be more of an updated guide on how to farm General Lightbane. Now, I've already uploaded like 3 or 4 videos talking about General Lightbane, right? And the strat has changed multiple times because it just depends on what you have, right? You can do the pierce strat, right? Where you just alpha strike all the way through his pierce, or his resist, I mean. Or what you can do is just play the actual game that General Lightbane wants you to do by doing the counter that he does based upon the cheat that he does. So for example, like I have the slides pulled up at the moment, if he did a minion of charms, you would use a negative charm, etc, right? And this slide's already in the Discord. I mean, these slides have existed for a while. So if you do want to see these and just look at them yourself, definitely go check the Discord, right? But now it's more of an updated method, because with the patch with Wallaroo, which not many people realized, is which the cheat was like a lot of cheese was fixed, of course, like whether it be just General Lightbane or just a lot of things in the game. There was a lot of cheese that was patched, and General Lightbane still has a cheese. Surprisingly surprised, right? But we're going to be talking about that, of course, and then we're also going to be talking about all the other methods as well. So if you do enjoy this type of content, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that type of stuff, and let's quickly just get into it. Of course, I'll show gameplay as well, but for the purpose of the beginning portion, I do want to show the slides so you guys get a rough understanding. So what we used to do was the pierce strat, right, which a lot of players did do. And what you would do is you would also have one person stagger join, and what you would do is when you do stagger join, it gives you 3 free rounds. Now that portion of General Lightbane was patched, so stagger joining just doesn't have effect on him. You can do it, it won't do anything on round 1. But what I did was just fleeing and coming back. If you flee and come back, he still has the cheat where he just bugs out and he starts killing himself. So what you could do, honestly, is if you don't want to do the pierce strat, right, which does require a lot more effort, same thing as the diffuse stuff, which were, I mean, this is a cook strategy, but it works because the fact is that you basically always have a dispel on him and he always takes max slash unless he does a shad spell. But I mean, it's RNG, right? But that's why this dispel strat is a little bit iffy. The new way, which I like using, is this one, or at least the one that I'm going to show in the video. So this is the strat that we used in the video, where you just spirit diffuse, and then you flee and come back and you just keep doing spirit diffuse. Now the reason why you do spirit diffuse is the fact that he has a minus like 40 or minus 100 weakness in his deck, and it's very annoying, and not everyone wants to carry cleanse. So this just requires a balance, and the other thing can just be whatever. But there will be another strategy where you can just play literally any school. It's the same exact setup, just a little bit different. But we just do spirit diffuse round 1, and then the other rounds you just dispel depending however you want. You can spirit diffuse, you can do LE diffuse, you can do just balance dispel. It really just comes down to what you want to do. Like for example, if you know he's not going to use the spirit diffuse, like there is no like he didn't use the death dispel or the life dispel or anything like that, you can just do an elemental. You can just stack on a balance dispel, do whatever, so he just never gets a turn. Of course, shadow dispels, moon dispels, astral dispels in general don't exist, right? They just don't. So for that reasoning is we're just going to dispel his main thing, which is annoying, is just the V plate. He doesn't really do shield, he doesn't do really anything else, so that has to be a worry. The minion is what does a lot of things, but the big change is that his minion cheat is a little bit different. Instead of summoning like 3 or 2 minions at a time, right, where he would just like bug out and do that a bunch of times, now he can only have 1 minion in the fight. So when you do flee and come back, all he does is recast his cheat, and then he just keeps replacing his minion. So his minion never gets a turn, which is very interesting to see. So then that's why you don't have to worry about the minions, because the minions were pretty detrimental in this fight. Because if you guys did look at the slides, some of these minions have some horrendous things, like doing a minus 100 plague, or doing a minus 99 universal shield. It would just be insane, right? So the fact that he just, you know, summons a minion and then just replaces his old one is very interesting to see. So that's why we're just fleeing and coming back. So he just resummons his minion over and over. Now eventually, once you see the boss at like 6 or 12k, right, sometimes he will kill himself at 18k, but it just depends on his lash. So I don't like do the gamble and say, oh, if he's at 18k, I'm just gonna let him die or whatever, because if he does cast shadow spells, of course he's gonna lower his backlash, and just keeping track of the backlash is just as annoying. So just for that factors, I simplified it to say, hey, if he's at 6k and he's at 12k, this is your time to flee and come back, and then just feint stack the minion and kill him, because what he'll do is when you flee and come back, he'll just recast the spell, but he'll kill himself because the backlash is prioritized first. That minion will summon after. But since he's dead, he's not going to summon a new minion. So the minion that's already there, you can just kill him and just win the fight. Now, of course, what I did is with the balance, right? But you can really just do this with any school. If we look at the other strategies, the same exact thing, but all you're doing is just making sure a person in your team, it could be player 1, player 2, or player 3, just carry a cleanse, right? Because the only thing you're really worrying about from general Lightbane is that weakness. The reason why you bring a balance is just to dispel, right? If you really want to, you can even bring a death, and a death can just literally just spam death dispels and not have to worry about anything. The reason why I do elemental diffuse and spirit diffuse is so that even if he casts some other spell, at least it'll get dispelled and his lash will still say like be at a high priority. Versus if he just death dispel him, if he uses like an ice spell or any other spell, he's just gonna really still decrease his backlash. So that's why I use elemental and spirit. But of course you can still do it this way where you just flee and come back and just carry cleanses. It's just the annoying thing is that he's going to be casting spells still on his first turn, and he's still going to be lowering his lash, and then the fight becomes even longer than what you think it's going to be, because you're just waiting to hit for him to be at 6 or 12k, and then you can go for the kill shot on the minion. So that's the only annoying thing. And I simplified it even more by saying, because I know a lot of players sometimes do ask me, is there a strat for like a different school? Really, if it just depends on your team, right? But whoever the hitter is, it can be whoever hitter. I'm gonna be honest, because all you're doing is killing the minion, and the minion has different HP depending on the minion he spawns. Sometimes the minion will have like 3k or 6k or 8k or even near 10k. So that's why you do triple feint, just to be keep the strat consistent. And then whoever wants to hit, they can use Elephant, they can use Colossus, Triton, Judgment, Centaur, Stone Colossus, Wraith, literally anything. The reason why you just have a 6 pip or higher is just because I just kept it consistent. You can use like a Sun Serpent if you want to, because you'll have enough pips. You can use literally anything. Would you use a Fire Cat? Probably not. It's just you're gonna waste everyone's time. But I did like a 6 pip or higher. You can even use a 5 pip if you want, like some people were using Phoenix in my runs, but I just use 6 pips or higher just to keep the strat consistent. So pretty straightforward when it comes to that, but this will probably get patched later this month, who knows, with the nightmare dungeon. But I did want to get this video out, and because literally the previous video I uploaded was me getting tier 5 spells, so I'll probably do another video regarding some other key bosses down the line, because I think my goal this year is just to finish videos on every single key boss. It's just something that I want to prioritize. So if there's a certain key boss that you guys want me to upload next that I haven't uploaded, let me know in the comments down below and I'll get to it. But the next one I'm probably going to do is Lore Magus, because I haven't uploaded Lore Magus since I think like back when you can use Mass Feint or something like that. So I kind of got to update the strat, especially with the gear being at such a high damage. You can literally annihilate Lore Magus round 1 if you have the setup. So that's why I want to make videos regarding that as well. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video with General Lightbane. Of course, we're always going to try to find the cheese as best as I can. I mean, the whole channel is based on cheese. I know some people were kind of like gutted that KI is kind of removing the cheese, but I mean, stuff like this happens, right? It's always going to happen. There's always going to be other methods, of course, but I'll always try my best to upload as much as I can when it comes to the cheese. But I mean, certain stuff I just got to be careful about, because of course I don't want to get banned. we all saw what happened with the Hunhow chest, so of course I don't want to get banned for using stuff that I'm not supposed to. But I think is fine, at least in my eyes. I think this is fine, but I know I can use whatever's accessible on my deck. So whatever I'm using at my deck is at my disposal. So that's what we're just doing. And of course the other methods still work, like the fleeing and doing the pierce strat. So like if for some reason they fix it and they're like, hey, we're not making it so you know if you flee and come back he's gonna recast the cheat, then just at that point you're gonna have to do the pierce strat for General Lightbane. And good luck with that, because it's such a required setup. Like it requires a lot of things. Or you just do it the intended way, where like you have to play the game that Lightbane wants you to play by doing the counter. I just wish that the counter would stack up multiple times. So like if I use 4 things that are his counter, he'll increase his backlash 4 times, but he only increases his lash 1 time. So the fight just lasts so long that way. So just doing these other strategies just make the fight so much more easier and just more bearable to farm. So that's why I was able to tier up my spells pretty fast, because I think at the time I was like really at like, I think I was at tier 4 earlier this week, and just getting 305 spells from this guy is RNG. Just getting it for the specific schools, specifically for my balance, because I got to tier 5 but all my other schools were already tier 5 and like way above spell elements, so my balance took the longest. But it just depends, really. It just really depends. I really wish that they added the pity system for spell elements in the vendor. That would be nice, like just so I can use like maybe like, even if they make it like a ridiculous cost, I think I would rather use it than that. Like maybe even like 10 or 15 sport caps, get me some spell elements. I mean, sure. Or even maybe even make it higher. I really wouldn't mind it, just because the fact is I don't need any of this gear. Like I've already had all this gear, so I'm like sitting on like, I don't know, some absurd amount of sport caps, and I don't think they'll ever be used unless for some reason they add spell elements into them, and then of course I guess I can just tier up spells more on my alts, I guess. I don't know, but we'll see. But that is it for the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the general Lightbane video. If stuff happens, of course I'll make an update regarding this video. I mean, this is just an update in itself to the previous videos I uploaded regarding general Lightbane. So good luck on your endeavors on getting the spells maxed out for the Dbop spells. If you guys don't know about the Dbop spells, check the previous video. I already made a video talking about the tier 5s and what they do and everything like that. But that is it. Look forward to more content on the channel. Join the Discord if you guys haven't. If you guys do want to see these slides that I showed in the channel, or in the video, I mean, you should go check it out in the, I think it's like in the gold key tab in my server. So definitely go check that out. It will help you a lot. Trust, it will help you a lot. But that is it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.